Well, I was very fortunate to make my 7:15 flight. I pull in at 6:35. Now, it's from Nashville to Atlanta, Atlanta to Buffalo, so it's a domestic flight, so to speak. Well, no, not so to speak. It is a domestic flight. I have no carry-ons. I have a Nexus card. So I'm thinking, I'm laughing. And then just as I go to get out of the car, it comes up, flight's delayed to 7:40. It's great. Might even get some wings. Maybe a mule. I just got a Starbucks and got on the plane. Pretty pumped. Everything's going great for the day. Get to Atlanta. Plane's delayed a little more in Atlanta. An hour and a half. So instead of getting home instead of landing at Buffalo at 12:50 in the morning, which meant I hit my pillow a little after 2 a.m., which isn't the end of the world. It kind of sucks right now. I just crossed the border and it's just after 3 a.m. I am not going to get home until after 4 a.m. now to my bed. Now, for those of you doing math, that is 26 hours on the road. I left yesterday at 1:45 from my room. Get in the car. Now, in fairness, don't feel too sorry for me. I did get to relax in Kentucky. I did get to sleep on the plane down, to sleep on the plane back. So it's not like I had no shut-eye. Half an hour, 40 minutes here and there. It's not the end of the world. But you know what? That's the job. I mean, I can guarantee you one thing. This drive right here would be a little more lonely and a little more quiet and a lot more tiring had the horses not raced very, very good today. I wanted to go over, obviously we got 4 in tonight. Good luck to them. My eyes will be peeled on Ollie tonight. He has a baseball game Tuesday night. We are into Tuesday now. Tuesday night he has a baseball game, and then Wednesday morning early I'm going to go over. I don't need to be over in Ohio at like 7:38 because the babies now are not on that schedule. Wednesday, Saturday. Now we have some that are going to train in the race bike to stay tight and get ready that have already qualified potentially. We have some that are going back for more qualifiers. A couple that are still prepping for qualifiers as they are prepping here in Ontario. We have 7 to school this morning. 7 to school in Ontario, and I'll bring you that video. We have how the hell to requalify. So I'll bring you a video after that. But this video was more or less just to recap exactly what took place. I know we did a good video. Tim and I, was a good sport about it. Pretty candid about racing in general and about the horses. Obviously can't talk much about us. But I'll tell you what, for a guy who drives a lot of horses, I was leaving the car. And now I get the alert that, I got lots of time. He's just going to drop the car off. He's going to a different terminal, I believe. And he said, hey, what about Chapter 7 that I drove for you guys a couple weeks ago? And I'm drawing a blank. I'm like, what's he talking about, Chapter 7? I'm thinking, 5 fish species. He never drove her. He goes, no, the good-looking filly trotted really good on the end of it. First start on Lasix. I said, Cutie Cumber. I said, funny story. Cutie Cumber is the half-brother to the horse that you drove for Linda Toscano. That's a stud now in Indiana. He goes, help is on the way. I said, yeah, that is help is on the way sister. He goes, oh, really? Well, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, she was nice. He said, first start Lasix, you could still tell she was still green and putting it all together, but it felt pretty good. I said, yeah, we tried to race her in the stakes once, and it just made no sense. She just wasn't quite there yet. But a nice mare with lots of upside, and of course, you got the back end of her breeding. And he said, oh, absolutely. Anyway, he said, it was pretty cool doing the video. He said, I think they're really good for the industry. And sure, they're great for the industry. I wish every trainer would do videos for their clients the same way that we do. Because you get in the habit of it, right? I literally am driving home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I say to myself, we could talk a little bit more about how the horses work today after I have have some feedback now from some of you for today's races, and I'll talk about that in a second. Talk about what's going on this week, how hectic it is with the babies, trying to get everybody situated. This is a time of year trying to get starts for everyone. I did actually enter Really Don't Care at the Meadows, but they said, no, I'd rather have a PA filly for this class. I said, we got one of those too. So we pulled the shoes in. I was going to go easy with her this week, but she can have a week of settling in, I guess, over at Tim's barn this week. Because I believe that she's probably going to stay with Tim for the summer. We have paid her into all the PA sires, a few other things, but mostly PA sires. And I think this would be a filly that Tim gets along really well with too, right? She just needs structure, just to be kept healthy and feeling good. And she's been just such a trooper training down. I really am looking forward to driving her this summer. Mechanically, she does have her flaws, but mentally, she is a pit bull, and I can't wait to race her. So, in retrospect, looking back at yesterday now. We had some feedback. I had some feedback via text and email from people. A couple of people messaged me and said they were a little disappointed with Militant. So I think I need to put it to everybody this way. Militant and Pickpocket are two very different animals. Pickpocket could be one of the better horses, really, as far as his time and how he looks and what he's done and what he could accomplish, maybe in the country right now. Now, that could change drastically over the next 6-8 weeks. It's a very, very talented colt. To come from where he came from was impressive today. Keep in mind, Militant was behind me. Militant is a much bigger, stronger, heavier animal than Pickpocket. Pickpocket is tall. He's not slender. He is perfect in almost every way. And to try and keep up to him and to have any aspirations of overtaking him is a tall order in the last 3/8 of that mile today. Now, as the day went on, the track got a little bit better. It wasn't bad. It was windy out, and the track, didn't seem to play very quick the first little while. And Tim was right when he said the open trotters, we were smoking the last 3/8 of the mile. Still won a mile in 55, 50.4 in a piece. These are horses that went in 53 all summer long. And for Kentucky, it's usually hot. Like, miserably, oh my God, it's so hot out, hot. And today it was actually chilly. I had a long sleeve summer suit on and just a small mesh mock neck type thing, and it wasn't. I was chilly today, so a cooler day with lots of wind. And then again, to get where he did, if Johnny knew him like I knew him, I would have liked to see Militant get away 2, maybe 3, maybe on the front, to be honest, but not let's dump Anthony in and follow him. You're not going to be able to follow Pickpocket. Now, if they had won a hotter half, and we circled up around them without interference, without getting rough at the half, then yeah, by all means, he probably could have trotted with them. But don't get down on Militant. If we take Pickpocket out of that race and I drive Militant, I get away third, I'm 1-2-3. But to ask John McDonald to drive the horse not knowing him, rule number 1, keep the horses trotting. And that's not easy to do. When you say, hey man, do me a favor, just jump up on this 2-year-old you never sat behind in your life and just go on out and race him in a stake race at a track he's never been at. First time in a pari-mutuel event, second time in his life behind the gate that you can see. And just, go out and race him. It's not that easy to do, right? He passed, kept him trotting. He said a real good mile from that horse today. Now the flash will come later. He did have earplugs in, but I did also tell John, same as with Arson, these horses have never had the earplugs pulled out. For those of you that aren't horsemen, there's no way to know how those horses will behave. Now, people say, they might make a break. I'm not really worried about them making a break, but as I said to Johnny, make sure he's tired before you pull them. And if you don't pull them, that's okay also. He didn't pull them. He didn't pull the earplugs out on Militant. You saw what Arson did when I pulled them out at the head of the lane today. He ear-paced right through his skin. So I thought Militant raced good. For those of you saying, he was okay, please, you're reading into it way too much. The horse did everything we asked him to do today, and everything to the best of his ability. He's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get faster. And he is a totally different horse than Pickpocket. So that was, I just wanted to, and you know, every time I get a couple of emails from people, I think to myself, how many people didn't send that email or didn't send that message? So this message is to everybody out there, all my partners on Militant. Horse race good. Make no mistake. In a different spot, you know, if I know him, if it's me sitting behind him, he gets away 1, 2, 3, and he finishes up 1, 2, 3. And that's taking nothing away from John McDonald. He just didn't know the horse, and he wanted to make sure he stayed trotting. He did his job. Now, Pickpocket was great. I watched the video a few more times. Yeah, he rides that left line a little bit like he always did. Is that going to be a problem? Was it the track? Was it the fact that we just shot him 3 days ago? You know, it being the flip-flops. As I said in my video this afternoon, I am almost positive when we get this horse to the Red Mile and just take those flip-flops off and let him go with a nice 9/16 or something. No grab, or even just a couple of dots of borium on there. Not even corks, just a little drizzle of borium on the toe of his shoe. And that's only because I live in Canada, where we always have grab on the horses. Either we have cork in the winter, or at Mohawk you need a little borium on. And I'm always hesitant to not put any on, but quite frankly, this horse could possibly trot over there with none on, easily. And he almost gets up into his elbows. It wouldn't really be that hard to say, what about no shoes? He would be one to do that for sure, because he doesn't get that pacey. He doesn't need a ton of weight. He is such a nice horse. You guys have, you know, it's easy. It's hard for me to say a mile and 59 and a qualifier in 58, and then talk about him in the same breath as other very, very good horses we have. I can tell you this. For the second week in a row, I can confidently say that we have never had a horse this talented at this time of the year. And take that for what it is. That doesn't mean this is the best horse we've ever had. This doesn't mean that he'll continue to get better. There's nothing stopping him from getting better. Certainly not his breeding. Certainly not his gait, his mechanics, his mentality, his work ethic. Everything you want in a horse is present in that animal. And I don't think I had to say that to anybody. That those words didn't need spoken. You guys can see that. Plain as day. It's obvious. So high hopes from Pickpocket from here on out. You know, the one thing I will say, it's hard sometimes because Eric and Kathy, very, very good horse people. The horses look great. I wish there was more communication, and that's on me as much as them. You know, they just don't know how we operate. Like Jason and I might get up at 7:30 and Jason will give me a call and say, hey, got to get 2 shod today. I don't think we need any changes. You went with, oh, for instance, I forbid you. What did you think about the shoes? I know we had talked about it with the blacksmith. We're still on for, you know, and we did make the changes to I forbid you. Just put side weights on her behind. That's it. I think maybe a little longer shoe, but I'm not positive. And he said, that's the direction we're going to go, right? Because that's, yeah, absolutely. You know, we're going to pull our hobbles in a hole, or, hey, we have 6 to train in the race bike on Wednesday morning. Are you going to be here? Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to leave my house probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. He said, why don't we do this? Just give me a call an hour when you're an hour out, and we'll go first trip with the horses. You can blow in there. We'll go last trip, bang, bang, bang with the horses. It's a great idea. Talking about stuff all the time, having an open line of conversation, open line of communication, it makes my job easier. And even a guy like Harry, who's like super reclusive and very private, just likes to go about his work. Even he has changed to the fact where I'll get a text all the time. Hey, I'm going to do the hind ankles on no free lunch. We're going to school them or qualify next week. Now, that's not an actual comment, but that type of thing. Okay, question mark, what do you think? Yeah, great, go ahead. And that made, the first few times Harry did that, it probably felt a little odd, but that's exactly what I need. I need all the information so I can bring it to you. Is it pertinent? Is it something that needs to be digested by everybody? Is it a conversation piece for us in a video like this? Or is it just thank you for the information, continue on your way type thing? And it's important to have those conversations. So as we go along, I think, and as Eric settles into the way that the stable operates, and what I mean by that is the way it communicates, how we disseminate all our information from Eric to me to you, so on and so forth, I think it will work out a lot better. Today was obviously a huge step forward. There's nobody on earth, no trainer, and this is what we want to show everybody in racing. There's no trainer that wouldn't love to have things run the way that it runs for an Eric or for a Harry or a Dominic or a Jason. Sure, I can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but I want to make sure that we keep our eyes focused and peeled forward, right? But it's been working great so far, and you know, if today, I'll tell you what I did like. I like the fact that Per Lucky is down in an oven and putting on weight. And he looked great today. I can honestly tell you that. I got behind the horse, and I know I sat behind him. It's tough, right? You're at a racetrack. You're going all the time. It's tough to let the horses chill because they're not in a quiet environment. And it's not like they are there, too. It's a big, giant barn. And I think things seem to be a little more laid back in Kentucky, which is great because that's what Per Lucky needs. And it showed up today. Not his trip, but I knew, you know, as I'm surveying the situation coming to the half, horse on the front, I can see the head poles broke. If I had known he would corner that poorly, I would have been going 10 pylons earlier, and I might have cleared him down the backstretch. But Per Lucky raced out of his skin today. The horse is racing huge. You know, I myself am watching the horse race the same as you, saying we just seem to be a step behind everybody, right? Always at 4th or 5th. Just enough where at the end of the meet you look at the lines and say, was it really worth it? Was there not a better place for him to be? And really, he's been racing great. He's not hit the winner's circle yet in Oak Grove. But I mean, the Open goes for $28,000. The horse made $7,000 today, finishing 2nd. U.S. obviously. And raced out of his skin, raced great. You know, so I got a smile on my face as we head into the latter part of the day. I'm scared because I'm worried I'm going to miss my flight. That's the last flight out, and I'm looking at Delta. There's no way I'd have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning from wherever I stayed. And that's the only kicker about Nashville. Unless it's cheaper in the middle of the week. I know when I looked at flights for like Saturday when I went down last time, it was extraordinarily high. So I would have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, connecting flight to get me to Buffalo at 11, home at 12:30. I missed all the qualifiers, all the schoolers, which isn't the end of the world, but certainly not preferable. I would much rather be driving home at 3:30 in the morning than trying to make connecting flights at 5 o'clock in the morning. 100%. So, Per Lucky was great. Militant was good. Just need everybody, you know, it's upsetting. It's not frustrating. It's not angry. It's upsetting to me when people say, "Oh, I just thought he'd be a little better." Well, he's not beating Pickpocket. I can tell you that right now. There's not going to be a lot of horses do that. And I joked with Tim today, but I just think so highly of Pickpocket because of what I think he can do. Now, certainly not what he's done. Not what he did today. Everything was good, but what he can do in the future. So the trotters were good. Per Lucky, Militant, and Pickpocket. Tactical Mounds in the mud looked amazing. Looked like the strongest performance of her life. Just a horrible track. Absolute soup. And to win in 54-1, I think 28-3 on the end, if I'm not mistaken, and how she did it, wrapped up hard going through the wire. They obviously have her trotting in the right direction, and the sky has always been the limit. That's a deep division. She's a deep filly, and she's only going to get better. So great job by Megan today. Matt Kikali with the win. So good job there. And then Arson, I watched that last 8th, that video that we put out 10 times. He was really pacing. If he's charted 27 flat, his last 8 is 25 and a piece, 26 second speed. That sounds stupid. That's what it was. His fastest step of the entire mile was going through the wire. And he ears up when I'm pulling him up. I couldn't believe it. I said to Timmy, "You're such a sour little bugger training down." And then he's just so happy now. He's so fast. I always knew he had speed, but you never know if they're going to be able to get over that last hurdle. Are they just going to be like a handy nominators 1, nominators 2 horse? Or are they going to be more? And he's still far from more. He's still got a long way to go. But what he did today was impressive. Impressive. As one of our clients, Johnny, had said, the way that he just kind of hung out off the gate, and then you wanted to put him in play, zapped him over, snap over to the front, drop anchor, let one go. And I told Timmy, he goes, I was going to drop him in the 3-hole, and I kind of roared to him. I said, "Hey, keep coming." I said, because what would have happened? I would have went 30-1, 101 in the piece, and there would have been silence the whole way to the airport. That's what there would have been. Would have been much of a video, I can tell you that. And he raced huge. Such an impressive burst of speed on the end of it. For using it, it's not like he, just kind of took him off the gate, followed a helmet, used him off the gate, sit. Everything mathematically went towards helping the horse on the front end. And he just inhaled him late in the stretch. Just a great mile from him. And then Atlas Hanover probably needed that trip, to be honest. My biggest thing was he making a noise after? Did he seem sharp? Aaron said the horse was loaded when he got him in the pass lane, paced straight through the wire, never made a noise. Perfect. So, obviously, Seabiscuit couldn't have won from where he got out. It was impossible. Had a lane to the wire. Ronnie was long gone. And Atlas Hanover paced hard right through the wire. He was beaten. Probably paced, 53, I think, last night. But looked good doing it. So a great day, top to bottom, by everybody. We have 4 going tonight, I believe, at Mohawk. I'm staying home for tonight because I'm going to take Ollie the ball, and Amy, who loves White Tiger, is going to paddock White Tiger. And then I'm going to go to Ohio for all day Wednesday. We're going to train a bunch Wednesday morning. I don't have the list of horses in front of me, but horses that don't need to go behind the gate again. Like, I'm fancy liking those horses. They don't need to be going behind the gate again. We're now in looking for a race mode for them. They'll likely be entered into go at Northfield Park. We'll have a basket full of them entered at Northfield Park for next week. Probably, realistically, they're not going to be able to split those classes. I would say 2 pacers, 2 trotters for sure. The Meadows, 2 pacers, 2 trotters for sure. If we can find a way to get them down to Scioto, 2 pacers, 2 trotters. We're going to start racing quite a few of them now on the 28th, which is not far away. 15 days away? We'll have Really Don't Care, Blanton's Blue. They might be on the same day or around the same time. They're going to be ready to go July the 1st. That first week of July is going to be a pressure cooker. We have the next generation races will be in Ohio. And Born to Dance is trending in that direction. Nobody can say he's not. Now, this will be a big step for him this week, but quite frankly, the way he looks, he is trending in that direction. He looks good. Venice Blue Chip, I'm going to have a nice qualifier for her, probably around 57, 58 on Thursday. She's getting good, getting ready. Sedona Hill hit herself last week. Not a big deal, just put a little bump on her hind leg. So I said no qualifying this week, no training hard, just a slow mile. We'll clean that lag out and may just put her in to go, give her a trip 3 days out and get her in to go. And then on the cold side, Gypsy Hill, we took the flip-flops off Gypsy Hill. As I said to Jason, listen, we're going to Scioto Downs right away. I can tell you any sort of deep track, and he's going to interfere. So why don't we see if he can go without them? We're going to train him in the race bike. I might train him in 59 in the race bike on Wednesday morning. So those types of horses you won't see. They don't have the baby schoolers on Wednesdays anymore. I was hoping they'd one more week of them, and they're not. So we're just going to straight up Thursday qualifiers with the horses. So everybody you see in to go Thursday, that's their last qualifier before they're really ready to go. If you don't see your horse's name on Thursday, like ours, like Lebec in Action, just one more week of training and she's in to go, much like the horses here in Ontario. Everybody else that you don't see their name, they're likely in the race bike and their starts are imminent. It is a little unfair to qualify Thursday and race back on Wednesday 6 days later. We did it with Born to Dance, but he's like his giant plow horse, and I just don't think it's going to affect him that much, and he needs to work. He's got a big ask in front of him. So that is what's going on. That's what went on today, and that's where we're at right now. So as I was saying, July the 1st we have Next Generation. July the 2nd we're somewhere. July the 3rd there's fairs, there's stake races in Pennsylvania also on the 1st. Not just the Next Generation. That's the first start for the PA bred trotting fillies. Wednesday after on the 1st in the afternoon from Canada, right? It's Canada Day, but we'll be in the States. Afternoon at the Meadows, night at Scioto. A massive day for us will be July the 1st, 2023. We have fairs on the 3rd, we have stakes on the 2nd, and then the finals for Kentucky with Arson, Militant, and Pickpocket will be on the 4th. Ollie has baseball that whole week too. It will be an incredibly stressful week that week, but still, nevertheless, looking forward to it 100%. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm 40 minutes from home, as you can see. Thank you, Rockstar. I'm perfectly fine. Got another 2 or 3 hours sleep because we have How the Hell in the second qualifier, 7 babies to school. Then I will have a pretty good nap on Tuesday afternoon, and then it's Ollie's baseball Tuesday night. So with that, I am going to let you go. Another 27-minute video, but I did want to talk about, I just wanted to talk about the feedback I got from you guys, my perspective, just so we're crystal clear on how the horses were today, what's going on with the babies. All the horses, all the Ontario breds for the most part are schooling tomorrow. There are a couple that are a little slow. I know Johnny was a little concerned about going with, don't talk about Bruno just yet, because he's been in like 12 or 13. I said, we can control that, right? It's going to be our schooler, mostly for 2-year-olds. We don't have anybody that needs going 59 or 2 minutes. I said, so it'll be anywhere from 2.1 to 2.5. Just take Bruno off the gate and go around 2.5. It's not going to kill him. Not going to hurt him. So we'll have, my count is 7 tomorrow morning to school. As I said, I'll make you guys a video for you to look at after. I'll stop everybody. Punch the clock. It's not going. Told you she's not going to be ready for a couple of weeks. Time is on my side. Is going, but still, he's on at least another 2 or 3 weeks before he's really, really ready to rock. Those types of horses. So, as I said, lots of videos coming your way. This is one. Another one this afternoon talking about how the schoolers went, how the hell qualified, what we'd like to see for the rest of the week in regards to the babies. Wednesday evening, good luck to everybody. Not just the race horses. We have Hornplayer Racing. We have Stonebridge Chicotis Racing. Mo Power Babies Racing. And, of course, the first lifetime start for Born to Dance. Thursday, I'm going to get a look at Yo Mister at the Meadows. I told them, I said, you can pull the shoes in the maiden trot if you want, but it cannot be before race 10. I'll scratch her if I have to. You got me back. Gave me a 9-hole. That's all right. Pull the shoes is going to make her first lifetime start Thursday from the 9-hole. Yo Mister's got the 3-hole, and then I am home for the weekend. So with that, I am almost home. 30 minutes from home. I will talk to you all soon. I hope you guys had a great day, because I